Good morning, everyone. Mr. President, distinguished guests, and honorable colleagues. It's a pleasure to join you. So I'm going to stick to the text so that not lose the track of time. Cities are not just where we live. They are actually where we innovate, work, adapt, and dream. They are the engines of global progress and generate over 80% of the global GDP. But increasingly, they are also the front lines where crises collide. Climate, infrastructure, economy, public health, migration, and everything. This convergence of shocks is forcing us to ask difficult but necessary questions. What makes a city truly ready for future? And what makes it not just functional but resilient? Today, I want to argue that resilience is no longer a niche concern of risk managers or emergency responders, as it was actually mentioned by some of the esteemed guests as well. It must become new baseline for urban development and economic investment. Let's clarify what resilience means. It's not just the ability to bounce back from disaster, it's the capacity to absorb shocks, adapt to change, and thrive in uncertainty. So a resilient city is one where a flood doesn't paralyze the transport system, an earthquake does not collapse housing stock, a pandemic doesn't expose structural inequality, and an economic disruption does not break social cohesion. It's not only about survival, it's about maintaining continuity, protecting dignity, and accelerating transformation even under pressure. Traditionally, disaster resilience has focused on building an infrastructure, and it's rightly so. But in today's interconnected world, resilience must extend to supply chains, financial systems, food security, digital infrastructure, and social capital. There are three compelling reasons why resilience should sit at the center of urban and economic planning. First, disasters are expensive. Global losses from climate-related disasters now exceed $300 billion annually. And investing in prevention costs a fraction of recovery. According to the World Bank, every dollar invested in resilient infrastructure yields up to $4 in avoiding losses. Resilience attracts investment. Cities that manage risk well are more likely to gain investor confidence, lower insurance premiums, and attract long-term capital through securing foreign investment and sustaining public-private partnerships. Third, it protects urban competitiveness. In an era of global talent mobility, people are choosing to live in cities that offer safety, adaptability, and equality of life, not just economic opportunity. So there are 5 key pillars that I can mention about urban resilience. So how do we get there? The path to resilience is not linear. It's not a one-size-fits-all recipe and model, but more priorities are clear. Integrated governance, aligning planning, environment, transportation, and emergency management is vital. Fragmented decision-making is the enemy of resilience. So in some countries, we have local governments, but in some countries, municipalities do not have that much authority, so it needs to be integrated with the government. Second, nature as infrastructure. Urban forests, wetlands, green roofs, they manage heat, absorb water, and offer social refuge. Concrete alone cannot protect us. A smart, risk-informed design. Buildings and infrastructure must be future-ready, informed by predictive data and climate modeling. Next is social resilience, which is very important. The city's strength is in its people. Inclusion, public participation, and equity are not soft values, they are risk buffers. And learning and foresight. Cities must evolve into learning systems. Post-crisis reviews, adaptive policies, and scenario planning must become institutional norms. And it was mentioned here by some esteemed mayors that we need to collaborate and cooperate with one another, and it's here that where cities can learn from one another. So it is very important to acknowledge that no city, regardless of its income level, geography, or technological advancement, is fully prepared. Even the most advanced urban systems have been caught off guard. New York struggled with Hurricane Sandy years ago. Los Angeles was badly hit by wildfires last year. And European cities too experience record-breaking heat waves and wildfires, and wealthy Persian Gulf cities are facing unprecedented flash floods. So urban resilience is not a sign of perfection. It is a measure of how well cities learn, adapt, and recover. But many cities around the world are beginning to take bold, creative steps, and they treat resilience as a continuous process grounded in cross-sector coordination, community trust, and a willingness to innovate. So I would like to skip the examples that I could bring from the cities from Iran, where I come from, or the other Asian cities, but I want to conclude that, dear colleagues, the city has become the front line of humanity's greatest challenges and our greatest opportunities. What we do in cities will determine not only how we survive future crises, but also how we shape the quality of life for generations to come. Let us just move beyond reactive policies and act proactively. Let us embed resilience into how we design, govern, invest, and innovate, because the cost of inaction is no longer theoretical. It is real. It is rising.
Dear
and it is
Gholamzadeh,
sharing.
please conclusion.
That was my conclusion,
Thank
actually.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.